Greetings everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Captain Rye, and today I've got a cruiser compilation video for you. It includes several clips of myself and a couple of different cruisers and a subscriber submitted replay. So sit back and enjoy this compilation of railguns and torpedoes. Because of course, as we all know, the cruisers have the best dispersion in the game, and many of them come with lovely, lovely balance lances. In this first clip here, I am sitting my ass behind an island. As my teammates have pushed up into the D cap point, they've spotted 3 very angry battleships, including 2 very dangerous Bismarcks. Of course, if you've played against the Bismarck, and I'm sure you have if you've made it up into the at least tier 6, you'll know that the Bismarck has insane secondaries. Not to mention, I'm in an Admiral Hipster, so I definitely don't need to be out in the open and exposing myself. So, I'm instead going to play it safe, like the coward I am, and sit behind an island and shell from afar. I've managed to set that Bismarck on fire, and of course he's immediately repaired it, which is a bad thing to do if you're in a battleship, and you've got an enemy cruiser or cruisers spamming high explosive at you. There's another salvo comes in, sets him on fire, and another shot from friendly sets him on fire again. Now he's managed to repair those because his damage control ability is still going on. But as he disappears behind this island, I'm going to get one more shot at him, and I'm going to fire those shots off before I switch fire. I'm detected, and I'm backing up because I definitely don't need to be detected. So I'm going to try and keep this island between me and my enemies. Managed to set another fire on that Bismarck, and now that one is going to burn. A little bit later on, in the same battle, after I've moved along, I've managed to do a reasonable amount of damage. Still didn't kill anybody, but I've managed to do a reasonable amount of damage. Now, I'm focusing fire on this Bayern, and unfortunately right about this point my targeting reticule kept switching back and forth between the Bayern and the Bismarck, even though I wanted to shoot at the Bayern. This, not too big of an issue as I continue shelling. You'll notice there, a full-strength Fuso has popped up. He is not only full strength, but he is stock, and I am within range of him. I have a terrible dilemma here. Turn broadside or pull a nonster. Decide to turn broadside as I take last shots out there. Enemy Fuso, he's got shots out at me, so time to engage the WASD hacks. My shots hit that Bayern, but don't kill him, and the Fuso shot managed to miss me completely, thanks to WASD hacks. Managed to survive what should have been a killing blow. In another battle, I am here in this second clip where I am going to punish this New Orleans for giving me a broadside. Shots out there, first Citadel in, knocks out his engine. This is going to prove to be a serious problem for him as, well, I'm going to come around this island. He can't shoot back because there's an island in the way. His engine's still knocked out, so his speed is massively reduced, and he's broadside onto me still. More shots out, another Citadel, and he's got torpedoes headed his direction. He is probably having all sorts of a bad time. Take shots in there, not from the Bismarck, but actually from a Colorado. Get more shots out, give too much lead there. Taking one last shot before he disappears behind that island in the protective cover, and as I have to turn away to avoid being broadsided by a Colorado, I manage to secure the kill on that New Orleans with another double Citadel. Ah, the railguns on cruisers can be fantastic when other ships, especially cruisers, provide broadsides to shoot at. In our next clip here, we have Sergeant Shaken 4. You might remember him from an earlier compilation video that I did. He's in his ARP Nachi, and he has a Cleveland who's steaming around the corner of this island. Unfortunately, Sergeant has got himself a nice flat broadside for that Cleveland to shoot at, and that Cleveland's going to punish him with what was probably a double or triple Citadel. But this Cleveland has made a vital, fatal mistake. He's closed in and is going to pass a ship with torpedoes. Sergeant Shaken lines up his shot, fires off a wide spread, almost manages to miss that guy, but does secure the kill on him with torpedoes. As he comes around this corner, there is an AFK Cleveland. This AFK Cleveland, looking at the fact that his guns are completely centerline, has either disconnected from the battle or rage quit. Given this team's current position, I think he's just had the misfortune of disconnecting. Sergeant Shaken 4 here, he is going to try and hit him with armor piercing, but at that angle, the shots are going to bounce right off. Instead, he switches over to a narrow spread torpedoes and fires off 2 sets. 1 set should technically be enough to kill him. Of course, I say that, but this game has a weird way of causing that to not happen. As he's looking at the entirety of the enemy team, that first narrow spread managed to miss that Cleveland completely, straddled him. The second set only hit him for 2, and that Cleveland survives. This guy's AFK. He's not even doing anything, and he's managed to survive a torpedo attack from a Miyoko clone. Sergeant Shaken takes the opportunity to finish him off with some Citadels, as he's very quickly trying to run away from the enemy team, as he's found himself isolated alone on the wrong side of an island at the enemy's base. The enemy is going to take every opportunity to kill him off. He did take a lot of damage dealing with that first Cleveland, and unfortunately that amount of damage combined with the good shooting from this Aoba is going to result in his death. That Aoba, though, he was sailing in a nice straight line. Had he continued sailing in a straight line, this torpedo would probably have missed him, but instead he decided to turn hard and took one to the stern. Gotta love those balance lances, right? Gotta love players who let you get that close and use your torpedoes on them. Sergeant Shaken 4, thank you for the replay. In the next and final clip, I've got me in my Mogami. The Mogami, probably my favorite Japanese cruiser, at least for now, mostly because I don't have an Atago. Although I do understand the Atago is pretty nice. And of course I am looking forward to that ARP Takao when it comes out. Soon, TM. In the meantime, I'm here in my Mogami, and I'm managing to punish this Fubuki, but so is this Tirpitz. He is just giving all sorts of punishment. You might have noticed there in chat somebody raging on their team. Yeah, that guy, not to call him out or anything, but if you're going to rage in chat while being in a tier 10 Yamato, at least do better than being second to last on your team for XP earned. Maybe not your team, so much as it was you. Now, as I'm pushing up into the B cap point here, trying to defend it, there's an enemy gearing who's basically full strength as I'm pushing up there. But see those torpedoes? Now, what's that old saying? I do love torpedoing destroyers in smoke. And sure enough, that gearing is going to eat one of those torpedoes. Was detected there briefly, was kind of concerned the gearing might try to get torpedoes off at me. Fortunately, that's not the case. I popped my hydroacoustic, he's in range, and now he's got nowhere to run, as my hydro is going to keep him highlighted for my teammates and myself to finish him off. Yep, right there, dead gearing. Always fun to kill a tier 10 ship with a tier 8 cruiser, especially one that's basically made of Citadel. Now, defending this B cap point is still not done, as there's a Tirpitz coming around the island. He's pretty low health, but so am I. One good salvo from him could finish me off. I use my ally's smokescreen and the island as cover. I get too close, I'm proximity detected, but I've got an island between me and him. Because that smokescreen kept me hidden until I made my turn, that Tirpitz is going to unfortunately eat at least 2 of my torpedoes, and it's going to sink him. This leaves the enemy team down to 1 half-strength Yamato who's going to constantly get burned down. He's basically become the focus of the enemy, of my team, and a Shimakaze, who is somewhere about. He hasn't been spotted recently, but he has been hit. He's extremely low health, and we're going to see him pop up as my spotter scout flies over him here shortly. Looking at the situation, though, as I'm pushing in there, I definitely don't want to be chasing this Yamato. He's disappearing behind the island to get some cover, but there's still the possibility that with his rear gun, if he decided to focus on me, he could finish me off in a hurry. Definitely not going to do that, so I decided I'm going to start turning around. That Shimakaze, speaking of Shimakazes, ours, who's extremely low health, trying to torp that Yamato as I turn around, almost team kills me in the process. But that Shimakaze, he was headed towards B, and if played right, given the position of our team, he could technically capture B, and then cap A, and then go hide, and just keep recapping as we try to find him. So I'm going to turn around and try and head him off. Our friendly Shimakaze, though, those torpedoes, they do look pretty damn good on that Yamato. I would have tried torping the Yamato, except he was outside of my range, and it appeared that he was going to continue to sail farther away, so there was no point in even wasting them. But he's actually turned broadside on, and would have been just inside the range. Of course, that Shimakaze, he's going to secure the kill on the Yamato with torpedoes. That just leaves a mostly dead Shimakaze, who's in the B cap, camping right now just on the other side of this island. My Hydra's not up, and my scout spotter is back on my ship, so I can't see him. I don't know if he's going to surprise me with a random set of torpedoes right around this island, and that would just be a soul crusher. But nope, I'm detected. He's low health, and there he is. Shots out, finish him off for my third kill and the win of the game. That's it for today's video. I hope you liked this cruiser compilation of rail guns and balance lances. If you did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to like and follow me on Facebook for semi-regular channel updates and news, please feel free to do so. And if you'd like to help support me, please visit my Patreon. You can find the links for both of those in the description down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.